Right now, a local organization is working to inspire all children in our area to become more confident in their reading by the end of third grade. St. Louis Black authors of children's literature is committed to the importance of getting books to kids. And joining me this morning is Julius B. Anthony, the man behind the mission. Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here this morning with you.
When did you realize that there was a need out there to get more books to the kids?
I started this organization back in 2018, but I actually started doing the work around 2014, 2015. I wrote a book myself. I decided to put some poems that I had written for my first graders when I was a principal at City Academy, and some when I was just a school teacher. And I knew then, after working in education, I've been in education for more than 30 years, that children really struggle with literacy. All children do, and particularly children of color. And I think it's because the research suggests that when they don't have access to books that reflect themselves and their everyday living, then they have a tendency to not have interest in books or in the text. And so we know that when we give them these mirrors that Dr. Rudine Sims says that they should have, then they don't do well in school. And so we want to make sure that they have access to those books.
One of the things I see when I look at the covers of the books that you have here, that the books also teach a lesson, a
Yes.
lesson of self-esteem, a lesson that, hey, I do indeed matter.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, all children's literature does that. Children's literature is written to make sure that children get to see what the world should be like. And authors of color do the same thing with those books as well. And so what's really important for Black children is that they get to see themselves as people that inspire. As you see some of the books here, we see some of the figures that have contributed to the American society. For instance, if you look at this one, which is an award-winning book by Jason Reynolds, who will be in St. Louis soon.
Oh.
Yes, the St. Louis County Library is bringing him to St. Louis.
Okay.
A shameless plug for them. And Christian Sorth. But this book has won the Newbery, and it honors Langston Hughes and some other great authors from our past. And so what we want to make sure is that children get to know that there are people who have contributed positively to our society, but we also want them to have certain character traits. You know, like it's okay to be kind. You know, it's okay to be confident in yourself,
Yeah.
self-love, and all of those kinds of things.
Well, you're taking the books into the schools as well. It's not like the kids have to go find the book. You're bringing the book to them.
Which is important, and especially in communities where there is poverty and children are being more marginalized. All parents really want their children to do well in school, but the challenge is there is a lack of financial access. And so because of that, we know through the Unite for Literacy research that in St. Louis, there are huge communities of book deserts, and they call them high-density book deserts. And essentially that means that there are less than 50 books in a lot of the homes here in the metropolitan region. And they happen to be communities where there is a majority of children of color. And so we want to make sure that kids get access to books because third grade reading is the marker. You know, kids have to be reading by the end of third grade. They have to get certain vocabulary.
Yeah.
And when that happens, our city does well, you know, because there's a direct link from school success and a person's adult life and being able to thrive as an adult.
How important is it for not just to have books in the household, but for parents to read books as well so the kids see that and put that together?
It's critically important that parents spend time reading books with children, but reading books isn't the only literacy thing that you can do with children. Having conversation is really, really important. Just looking and doing what we call a literacy walk in your environment. As you're walking through the neighborhood, just talking about the things that you see. When I was a kid and we were in the car, we would talk about all the things that we would pass, like a
know that.
McDonald's or a White Castles
Yeah.
or emos. You know, all of that is literacy and vocabulary development. Those are simple things that parents can do to improve literacy.
And real quick before I let you go, how much is scrolling an issue with kids being on social media and not picking up the books?
All of that is literacy. So literacy is bigger than just books. We say that literacy has 6 elements. I'm not going to get overly technical, but it's listening, speaking, reading, writing, visual expression. So anything that helps a child communicate with the world, build vocabulary, and just understand the things that are in their environment and communicate well, that is literacy, because all of that is context that they need to read a book.
Okay. Well, Julius, thank you so much for coming in and bringing all the books. I'll try to thumb through a few myself.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.